So first of all, we have to know what is mean by the special kids. These special kids terms have been placed is to avoid stigma, stigma, and to comfort the parents. Yeah, because we have seen a lot of parents that have difficulty to accept. So basically, there is the main things that you can see. This is the old slide. Actually, you can see there's autism, intellectual disabilities, which and then the attention deficit hyperactive disorder, and the learning disorders. But however, currently the attention deficit hyperactive disorders have been combined and joined together with learning disorder. It have been together now with learning disorder, or the term is now the new term is called learning disability. Learning disability, we don't want to call it as a disorder. How common is autism? This is all American statistic. In the American statistic, how many children who have or how many births who have one autism kids are skyrocketing. It could be because of people are getting more aware, or it's truly because it's really getting more and more common because of maybe the environment. How about the others? We enlarge and let you see that, and we enlarge and let you see the most common of the special conditions is actually the learning disability. Specific learning disability. Which is up to 30+%. So there's among all the special kids is 30+% is all learning disability. Yeah, speech and language impairment, and followed by the autism. Yeah, or they can actually they can combine. They can have autism with learning disorder, learning disability, or they can have a hyperactive disorder with speech disorder. Yeah, for example, they can combine. Yeah. All right. Among all the learning disability, the most common is actually called dyslexia. Dyslexia is more like a reading disorder, followed by dyscalculia. Dyscalculia means the better terms is called the mathematic disorder. In the past, autism have three main features, which is the communication difficulties. They have speech delay. They have difficulty to speak to people, and they have repetitive behavior. They can arrange things in a line, then keep repeating, arrange and rearrange again, or turning in a circles is all repetitive behavior. And then social impairment. Beside communication, the other way of social contact we can have is like eye contact, touch. They have difficulty in this also. The look at people and the touch at the people, hug at the people, all they cannot. They have difficulty. Now that of course they have other side features also. They put it here is motor difficulties. Yeah, they have a sensitive to surroundings, sensitive to light, noises, or sensitive to touch. Yeah, they can sensitive to touch even. And now we believe that the autism is actually a spectrum. Yeah, spectrum. And then now they put it at level 1 to level 3. Level 1, they call it high functioning autism. No longer they call it Asperger's syndrome. Last time they called it Asperger's syndrome, but it was described by a scientist called, the name is called Asperger. So they put it Asperger's syndrome. So now they don't put it at Asperger's syndrome. They put it high functioning autism or level 1 autism. Level 1 autism means they're very mild. They maybe have two features. Among all these 5 features that I show you, the 5 main features that I show you, they have no sensitivity to surrounding, no motor difficulty. The main thing could be just communication and social impairment. Yeah, that's all. And the IQ is all normal, right? So the most common, and for that, you can't, just look normal. Just look normal. So you just, maybe you think that he just don't like to be socialized. He's just shy. So actually all the kids that you seem to be shy, yeah, you have to be suspicious. Last time people will say they're shy, weird kids. No, weird, not can repeat, turning thing, repeat the 2 things. So you shy, and actually the kids, when they achieve to the certain age, like 3 years old, 4 years old, this type of the kids, normally they should be loved. They love to socialize. They love to, socialize not only to kids, to adults, to pets, for example. So they have difficulty to show interest, to socialize, to what I mean, tell you, the other kids, adults, and the pets, disinterest in terms, instead, you may say that it's shy, but it could be actually autism. Yeah, and it can be improved. Yeah, if not, it will lead to in future more difficulty. I've seen a lot. If you don't, you think that it's just shy lah, he's studying, he study all okay, all normal, so you don't bother about it. Actually, when they grow up and when they become adolescent, I've seen a great percentage of them. It won't be say that 100% of them will turn into it lah, but I would say that within 50%, they will turn into what? Depressions, anxiety, social anxiety. They will develop into, when they are kids, they won't develop depression and anxiety, because the brain is not fully developed. When they go to the adolescent, is when during the time is the time that the real major mental illness will emerge. They will turn into a severe social anxiety until they don't want to go to school. Then only go and see the psychiatrist. Then we discover that, oh, actually since kids' childhood, that's already don't want to talk, very little friends, very shy to talk. Then it could be autism since childhood. If he have sent for therapy or special education, it could have already improved since then. We mean, of course, we the earlier we can manage and treat, to provide the therapies, the better the outcome actually. Despite it's actually only the level 1, level 3 is even, I mean, worse like especially the behavior part. When they're exposed to light, the sensitive and light, what they can shout, throw tantrum, until they can bite people's attention deficit hyperactive disorder. The name implied was so long, 4 words over there. Autism only 1 word. This is hyperactive defect. I mean, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. In short, everyone say hyperactive. In fact, the ADHD kids are not only hyperactive, they have difficulty to pay attention, impulsive. They can't put weight in line. They can't wait until you finish the 1 full sentence. They want to say something. They want to say, they cannot be waiting, cannot finish. They want to say something. They want to say, they will break your conversations. They seem to be very hyperactive. You think that, oh, kids, all kids are like that. It's very active. Then you have to be careful. If they have these 3, a difficulty to pay attention, you would think that, oh, all kids are like that. If you notice that in the classroom, 30 of them, only 2 or 3 have difficulty to pay attention to what teachers say. Then it's already a minority, isn't it? Then you should send for early assessment to see, is it really have mild ADHD? Maybe you think that it's not very obvious. The one not very obvious one, hyperactive, very obvious one. Even in the classroom, they can't sit still. They will run out from the classroom. That one is pretty obvious lah. The teachers definitely will tell the mom, say, this one really you need to bring to see psychiatrist. The mild one, they won't run out from the classroom. They may be just shaking their own leg, maybe shaking a leg, or because they can't really pay attention 100%. They will chonteng the whole textbook non-stop, doing something, and they have to be constantly doing something. They cannot stop just listening. Looking at books is even more suffer. So like just now the video I show you, the hyperactive disorder is they look at TV is better, isn't it? Even look at TV also, they cannot sit still. They change position constantly from sitting, lying, to upside down. So that is the features of hyperactive. It's very obvious it's hyperactive. In just now the kids I show you, they even sitting and see the TV also cannot sit still. Impulsive that will cause problem. They can punch another kids or push another kids. Okay. So the causes, the 50%, easier for you to understand. It's actually not exactly 50%, but I'll tell you 50%. 50% genetic govern, easier for you to understand. 50% is in your gene. Okay, easier to say that. Environment is the one who decide whether it will come up or not. Yeah. But of course, if your gene that you have is like only 5%, is harder for it to come up, or when it come up, or maybe you mild. You mean that this features is in a spectrum. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. This kind of equation, and then the environment will provide a lot of protections towards this illness. If you have 50% of the gene, you have towards the autism. But you provide a 100% good, fantastic environment. Even if you immerse an autism, maybe it's just mild. Maybe it's just mild autism. Maybe wouldn't become a level 3 autism. Is very difficult to handle. Level 3. It put into the words. How is actually, because contains a lot of chemicals. This what is we call it exposed to the chemicals. Parental old age 45 years old. The cut-off point that we believe 45 years old and above. Of course, it is not a cut kind of thing now. 40 years old already increased a bit of the risk, and it's most commonly is the father side. Old age of the father will affect more. Okay, then the complication during antenatal and postnatal, kena COVID, contohnya hypoxia, the mother hypoxia. Hypoxia means oxygen drop. For example, very bad flu. Taking medication. Taking medication is not as what we believe. Taking Panadol, then jadi macam tu. We are talking about like the mother have some illness that you must take medication. For example, epilepsy. You must take anti-epileptic. If not, that throw a fit, even more affecting the womb, the baby, isn't it? Parental. This is also in the diet, the deficit in nutrition, deficit for mother. Mother macam nak makan McDonald, only lah. Only want to make McDonald, no appetite to makan sayur. Tengok sayur pun nak. Tak ada selera makan, sebab first time, especially first time, actually it can happen all the time. So if you are not enough omega-3, vitamin D, and the folic acid is also predisposed. The risk of kena ni special case are not only autism will increase. And then for your information, operation Sicilian section, LSCS, Sicilian section increase the risk of the kids a little bit, not very high. The kids are more likely. Mean that if born naturally are less likely. Actually, there is we can understand why. Actually, when if you born through the normal way, the kids will go through the birth canal, because the birth canal are very close to the place that you pass feces, isn't it? So have a lot of probiotic, natural mother probiotic there. So when the kids born through the birth canal, they are born with the mother probiotic through the womb. So they're born with Sicilian section operation. They're born sterile, and then the intestine all are sterile. So they inhale and whatever makan minum, all the bacteria is the one to go in, which is not the natural probiotic actually. And then the air and water pollution full of neurotoxin. If you, for adult shouldn't be a problem, isn't it? But for a baby, for a fetus, if the water contains a little bit of very small lead, for example, lead is neurotoxin, or mercury, it will bring catastrophic effect, disaster. Ini tak tahu, tak ada taste, terlalu sikit sangat itu lead atau mercury sikit sangat dalam air atau in the air benzene, radon, or just carbon monoxide itself bolehlah menjejaskan tumbesaran otak. Maternal and medical and psychiatric problem. In the medical mean the most common one is epilepsy actually. Having all this medical condition, psychiatry problem, and will increase a bit of the risk. The last one is leaky gut syndrome. Leaky gut syndrome. Okay, this is all the study. Say that as a prenatal, sebelum lahir anak, sudah ada anak dalam uterus, exposed to air pollution, masa tu ada haze datang, you you kerja di luar kan, di luar, di dalam pun kena, actually di dalam rumah lagi kena. Then you nafas dalam, itu PM 2.5, then naik risiko lah, increase the risk of getting a kid who have autism, right? Next slide. These are all the things study discover that air pollution and intellectual disability. Next slide. Because this is one of the things that you wouldn't know, you don't know, you don't think it will affect, but you see air pollution can increase 62% risk, increase of more than 50% that you will get a kid with ADHD. So it's not joking. And then just now you remember we see that the prevalence, the percentage of autism skyrocketing, right? It's related with pollution. I believe that. Okay, this is called leaky gut syndrome. By right, look at the left side. Left side, your intestine cell, the left side, it should be macam lumah teles, lumah panjang, atau lumah teles, sambung together, macam tu. It should be macam tu. Then somehow another some damage happen, that cause dia punya teles house, dia jadi bungalow house. Rumah bungalow. Jadi bungalow house dia tepi-tepi tu ada leaking. So in your intestine, any bad things can leak into your bloodstream and causing allergic reaction. Some certain protein or whatever things that you are not supposed to absorb inside the blood, they absorb inside the blood and causing inflammation effect. And this type of inflammation effect called leaky gut syndrome. This inflammation will release toxic substance. You don't feel anything lah. You tak feel. If mild one, especially mild one, you don't even feel anything. You don't even have diarrhea. No, nothing. You don't feel anything. This toxic, because of a long-lasting effect, the toxic is always there. And the toxic can go into the brain and having a neurotoxic effect. Toxic to the brain as well. So it's not only it happened in the mother, happen in the baby or in the kid itself, can affect the brain, especially when they're within 0 age to 2-3 years old. The time the brain is the most sensitive time. Actually 0 to 2 years old. It's most sensitive. Like fever 38 Celsius for us, nothing. 38 Celsius for a baby can damage the brain actually. Like for example, 1 year old, 39 Celsius, straight go to hospital. So there is a very famous, we call it gluten-free diets. Because those who have leaky gut syndrome, they cannot digest gluten. Gluten. Anyway, gluten is very difficult to digest. Even for adult, if you don't have leaky gut syndrome, even though you don't have leaky gut syndrome, gluten hardly can digest 100% anyway. Gluten is a substance that we use that we add into the bun bread, so to make the bread really soft. When you tarik, dia sambung together. Dia roti tu you tarik, dia boleh sambung, macam you boleh nampak dia sambung, you tarik, dia cakap, wah tengok bagus ni, dia tambah banyak gluten mah. Dia tambah banyak gluten, that's why you can noodle, wah, noodle dia guna handmade, tarik guna tangan, tarik guna tangan, makan, wah, very springy, very cute, what is called cute, because of gluten. Gluten will make it spongy effect, the spongy effect. The food when you bite, wow, chewy, chewy, tasty. So adding in, add in. See, gluten can be naturally occur it can be synthesized as well. So basically, especially for baby, mother, or whatever, leaky gut syndrome, somehow you have a little bit, you put gluten inside, then it can cause inflammation, more inflammation in your intestine and release all the toxic substance, then which will affect the brain. And also for patients or the baby, kids who have epilepsy, penyakit sawan, a gluten-free diet is the one that I recommended, because all the inflammation will actually cause toxic to the brain and more sawan. The brain we have discovered that the autistic kids are not, especially mind the gap. Things go wrong with the way brain cells talk to each other. So our brain cells are connecting to each other in a certain way, and we discover that in autism that the connection different. We don't say abnormal. It's abnormal. The abnormal connections. Okay, next slide, I'll show you the connections in the next slide. Okay, tengok typical brain. Typical brain, you receive the stimuli. Oh, you dengar atau you tengok, then you will go inside the otak di tengah-tengah tu, the analysis. You think it that the analysis center di tengah, you should send to the analysis center di tengah lah. Then analysis center di tengah, oh cakap ini adalah apple. Ini cakap mak panggil, analysis center go to mak panggil. Then the analysis center will send the message to the action center, nak buat apa lah, macam tu lah. So you see that is one way. So you see the autism brain is everywhere. Everywhere. They connect to the neighbor connect to neighbor. No, mean by right it should be when you see and hear, you should go to the analysis center. Dia tak lah, dia macam pusing-pusing pusing tak henti, macam the repetitive behavior, just like the repetitive behavior. It just there's no result. There's no result, there's no outcome, no action can come up. This the autism brain, the connection too much, terlalu banyak abnormal. So ADHD, even they do PET scan, you can see the merah part kurang. Apa tu merah part? Okay, in our brain we have two type of nerve. We call it excitatory nerve and inhibitory nerve. Inhibitory nerve maksudnya red light lah, lampu merah, red light. So the excitatory is like green light, and green light go, red no go, cannot go, stop. So the stop nerve, so called the stop kurang, cannot stop. Cannot stop. So even your brain analysis center say, oh, should stop. After analyze, we see they tengok all the information. So analysis center cakap kena stop. Tapi the signal of the stop kurang. So the signal kurang. So the action cannot achieve. They only fire, go. You imagine that it should stop, but they go. They get accident kan. So this is telling you it's biological. It's biological. Learning disorder, because the learning disorder is the most common. So I will tell you here. In terms of learning disorder, is like, for example, reading. Reading is one of the most common. Like reading, you baca A, small letter A. Small letter A, you mata nampak, you mata nampak A kan. Then you masuk hantar message kepada analysis center, and then the deficit happen in the analysis center. Analysis center cannot recognize the A. So cannot recognize the A, then macam mana ni ya? So the analysis center akan cari something macam A. Show you some example. The easier one is like B. So dia baca B ini B. So you punya analysis center buat kerja shortcut, dia kasih you ini D, dia kasih you D. So you baca mata nampak, mata tak sepek, mata tak sepek, dia memang mata nampak ini, tapi you punya otak keluar ini. So nanti dia pacang tak betul lah. Atau dia biar dia jadi ni keluar ni. So this is how it happened. Like the mathematics tengok boleh tiga campur tiga berapa yang lagi lah 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 dan tulis baca 6 lah. How about 10 campur 6? They cannot see, they cannot see, but for a normal human, normal kids, the 10 and the 6, they see the word 10 plus 6, they can, analysis center can analyze, can understand 10 plus 6. For them, they cannot. They have to see, oh, what is 10? 10. So you have to, another 20 tangan, kasih 20 tangan. 20 tangan tu kira 10 dan 6 tu berapa? 16. So they cannot have this kind of imagination of the they cannot have this kind of imagination of the numbers within the brain, you know, so that they have to be provide special education. They cannot learn like normal people lah. For a more holistic treatment, okay. Autism, 50% of children with autism are prescribed medication to help them in terms of actually for me to understand, for me now, if the autism is like a level 3, most likely they will, because they can self-harm, they can bite themselves, they can control tantrum, can harm themselves, so they may need some medication, but the medication would not improve their autism. Like for example, autism have communication and social impairment, so the medication would not improve their communication and social. Tak boleh. Dia cuma control dia behavior saja, kasih dia not so destructive. If the autism tak quiet, tak kacau apa, tak ada tantrum, tak payah ubat pun sebenarnya. So the education, which so-called special education, they'll have the behavior type of education, then the diet treatments. There's a lot of special education program. The most common one is called sensory integration. Then got applied behavior analysis, got education on all these and related communication handicapped children teach. So there are a lot of things, and specialized therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, banyak. So I just briefly tell you
sensory integration is more than just playing with sensory materials. For an activity to be considered sensory integration, it needs to incorporate multiple sensory systems, and at least one of those systems needs to be proprioceptive, vestibular, or tactile, as they are the most foundational.
Importance of the diet of the autism, isn't it? Actually, you see, the banyak go for milk substitute lah, gluten-free bread lah, cheese lah, meat tu tak mau makan banyak lah, vegetable makan banyak lah, supplement ni kena makan lah kan. Brief one, easier one, so you can understand easier. So basically your makanan yang kena makan tu gluten-free diet, and then raw food diet, which is eat clean. You try not to eat all this chemically make food. Chemically make food, maksud processed food lah, basically called processed food. You mau makan natural food. For example, makan ayam, tak mau makan ayam bola ayam. Makan nasi, tak mau makan mie, tak mau makan mie have gluten actually. Daging slice, tak mau makan apa tu, patty, beef patties, the burger kan, burger, tak mau makan that because it's definitely processed. So we try to eat betul-betul punya makanan. Makan ayam, tak mau makan ayam goreng. Why is goreng? Because the oil go through the high temperature is already change. And try to eat varieties of the food, more colorful, and need to be creative about it. It's no hard and fast rules. So what you should do. Sometimes I don't know what to say. If I say directly, the parents will not be happy, isn't it? If I say that because you didn't try hard enough. Actually, I want to tell them, you just have to try hard enough. Ya, tak boleh cakap dia tak nak makan, dah kasih makan. You try hard enough that you like makan apa yang dia suka makan, makan daging yang proses kan. You cincangkan dia, campur dengan sayur. I don't know how to tell you that. This is not for me. Actually, many other parents who tell me how to do that. Some even go on to let them fast for two meals. 2 meals, and then the next meal they're really hungry, then eat lah, whatever lah, kan. Should talk about parenting kan. Tengok parenting tu banyak, positive parenting and the apa tu 7 essential life skill for the children. Tak apalah, ni banyak. Kalau you baca internet tu banyak ditulis macam tu, you pun tak faham kan. So I bagi yang senang difahami. Most of the people, especially for special kids parents, they will focus on the children, which is wrong. That's wrong. Which is, I don't say it's wrong, but it's not your priority. It's not the priority in your parenting skills. Focus on children. Dia nak dia buat apa, dia nak dia improve apa, dia nak, everything about the children, the kids, semua. But actually, you have to focus on yourself. First thing, you have to be, I would say you have to be happy. You have to be positive. You have to have knowledge, have to have skills. Instead of sending your kids to 10 sensory integration class, I will say that the parents should send to the class first. The parents should go for class first. Bukan anak yang pergi kelas. Mak dan ayah dua-dua lah kena pergi kelas lah. Pergi kelas, and they have to be positive, love. They have to be happy. You become very, everything about your son, and then your kids cannot up to the expectation. You rasa geram sangat. Mengapa tak boleh? Saya sudah buat banyak sebab salah. The direction is wrong. The direction is wrong. And you yourself doesn't improve yourself in the first place. And you geram, and then anak nampak you geram dalam muka you. So you don't worry about all these things. You have to do this. The number one is the most important thing. You tak buat ini, memang tak akan capai yang the next things. Because and then the first thing is you don't have knowledge about autism and hyperactive children. You would think that my kids mau, actually severe pun dia cakap mau ke apalah macam-macam. They don't accept it. For example, spend quality time, not just play with them, isn't it? You just not play with them. Sebab you pun sibuk kan, you sibuk buat kerja rumah, mop lantai. How you have to think how you mop lantai and can spend time with kids. For example, is 4 years old kids, I think you can help out in housework. You should, then you do housework together. If I will say this is a quality time. For example, buat kerja di rumah, then you boleh suruh anak ambil ini, ambil itu. They do work together with you. For example, attending meeting, the kids can attend together with you, isn't it? They can attend together with you. Then you can interact with your kids. Number 3, when you focus on the kids, they tend to focus on their weakness. For example, autism is having difficulty in socializing communications. Yes, we should go for social therapy, all these things to improve their social skill. But then you terlupa, mungkin dia ada strength kan. For example, hyperactive children, they have a lot of energy. Kan the weakness is dia tak boleh stop kan, dia tak boleh pay attention kan, but they have a lot of energy. This isn't a strength. Ni dia punya kekuatan dia actually. Focus on the strengths, not only the weakness. No, I remember I asked before one of the special kids punya mom, can you tell me just give me five good things about your kids. You know, I feel very sad. You know, I feel very sad because the mom say nothing. Dia cakap tak ada. Anak dia tak ada kebaikan. Oh my gosh. I rasa, teluknya ni mak ni. It's just most important thing is sendiri. Kalau sendiri tak baik, itu susah. You really difficult to going into the next step. So this is a parenting skill. Actually, parenting skill, first thing is to make yourself better. All right? Remember that the first one, because I think the most of the people doesn't do the first one. It's the most important thing. You happy, they're happy. So we must drink clean water. E-spring from Amway is the only. This air filter is called Atmosphere Sky and Atmosphere Mini. Yeah. It's again third-party certification by actually UK Allergic Association. It's the only air filter that can remove 300 contaminants in the air. So must including viruses. Yeah, viruses. So mean the air filter in the market until 300. Mean the as far as I know, I think less than 100. The other brand is less than 100. They cannot really remove the contaminants. This is what you want, because it's not only remove the smoke, the bau saja. You want to remove something that no, tak ada bau, tak nampak, but it's toxic to the brain, isn't it? So okay, nutrition part, I only recommend what I eat. This is what I eat, Nutrilite. Yeah, this is what I eat. Yeah. Dan cakap makan banyak sebab I takut. I takut sakit kan. So I makan banyak. So I belum habis lah. I belum cerita sikit. Mengapa I makan Nutrilite? Sebab it's the safest. The most important is safest. You don't want any chemicals that are harsh to be inside. Number one, you don't want synthetic. You don't want man-made vitamin. Man-made vitamins have been proven that are not very good. I mean, it's just like processed food. If you have leaky gut, then will make your leaky gut become worse. So you want natural. And natural is not good enough. You want organic. Yeah, because natural and it's not organic, maksudnya dia mungkin ada fertilizer. Fertilizer is neurotoxic now. Neurotoxic, fertilizer and all this pesticide is neurotoxic. Yeah. So if you the nutrition that I eat must be organic. Yeah. So the basic nutrition that good for the brain, simple. Nanti sekejap jangan tukar. Vitamin D, calcium, magnesium, probiotic, omega, zinc, and protein. Yeah. So the most important one for the brain one is the first four, B, calcium, magnesium, probiotic, and omega fish oil is the most important thing. In fact, omega is quite high up. It's quite high up, omega fish oil. In terms of learning disorder, you remember the video that say that how many tablets the kids eat every day? They say, 6 tablets. 6 tablets. You know. So they're having the research are using high dose. They are using high dose omega fish oil. So actually, because there is a deficit, we use higher dose than normal. Now, omega fish oil also we provide. We need to be having high dose. Okay, probiotic will prevent leaky gut syndrome, have a clean intestine, absorption also better. Okay, basically B and calcium is more important in hyperactive kids. Yeah, more important in hyperactive kids. Calcium, magnesium basically will calm down. Yeah, will calm down the kids. Yeah? So especially the ADHD, vitamin B will actually make it more able to focus. Vitamin B will make it more able to focus. So B and calcium, magnesium is much more important for the ADHD. But however, probiotic and omega-3 is very good in terms of development of the brain. So that's the one that we are recommending for the kids, especially from 2 years old to 7 years old. The probiotic is a left upper corner. Left upper corner one way enlarge a bit. It's 4-in-1. Yeah, it's not only probiotic. Yeah, you have probiotic, vitamin C, zinc, and also vitamin D. So especially the zinc there and the probiotic there will help in terms of the brain development. So for those for 2 years old start onward is only 1 tube a day. If 4 years old to 6 years old, you will be go up to 2 to 3 tube a day. Okay, 4 to 6 years old, you need to use 2 to 3 tubes a day. If 7 years old and above, what happened? You might consider to use adult probiotic. Yeah, adult probiotic. Next one, the omega DHA. So the gummy DHA for 2 years old to 4 years old, you can use 1 to 2 gummies. If 4 to 6 years old, you might use 4 to 6 gummy a day. If 7 and above, you might consider to use adult omega fish oil, started with 1 capsule. Okay, another left lower corner is the calcium magnesium. So the calcium magnesium especially good for the ADHD. So 2 to 4 years old, you will use 1 to 2. 4 to 6 years old, you can use up to 4 to 6 tablets of calcium magnesium. If more than 7 years old, you might consider adult calcium magnesium and adult vitamin B. Yeah, I forgotten to put the vitamin B for children's. For children, vitamin B, we don't have the tablet, but we have the drink. We call it the phyto powder drink. Yeah, phyto powder drink. Phyto powder drink is full of vitamin B inside. From 2 years and onward, you drink 1 tube a day. If it's 2 to 4 years old, you might need to drink 2 or 3 capsules a day. This is the Mandarin. This is my experience of the kids. Okay, it's in Mandarin. Actually, I remember these kids is actually from Sarawak. It's autism with hyperactive kids. He said that last time, actually it's only 1 month ago I met. He said 1 month ago, the kids is jumping up and down. You know, like in the day I met me in the hotel, they say that jumping up and down and occasionally will shout, you know, shout. No meaning when shout. So after starting the nutrition, this type of behavior have disappeared. Basically, completely disappeared. But he said no longer jump up and down. This behavior disappear. Okay, only less than 1 month. Only less than 1 month with the nutrition that I have recommended. Just like they say that I think it's a kindergarten, kindergarten less than 6 years old. It's also less than 1 month. He said the teachers say the sons become more obedient, no longer running here and there. Less than 1 month, no longer running here and there. You know. Then the right side is a older one. Older, I think more than 10 years old already. Since the last week, she realized that can concentrate in the class. They asked whether got medication or no, it's just supplement. This one I think is just 3-4 years old, 4 years old, you know. This one I asked him to say that the hyperactive, how much improvement? He said 50% improvement now. All his homework he do in school and at home only for I mean last time he cannot finish homework at home. Now he can finish homework, go balik rumah sudah habis kerja rumah dia. Right side. And I think this one is 4 years old. And 4 years old still cannot say papa, cannot say mama. No. This one, I think 2 weeks on the nutrition. He call father by name, some more. Call daddy plus the name of the father call. I mean, this is an autism kid. Autism kid that the communication have established